The world was not one either of them recognized. It was a place where reality itself bent and twisted, a plane caught between dimensions, where legends from different realms were forced to battle for the amusement of unseen cosmic forces. The ground was a shifting mix of alien metals and ancient stone, pulsating with energy neither magical nor technological, but something in between. Logan, better known as Wolverine, stood with his claws already extended. His sharp eyes scanned the strange terrain, his enhanced senses picking up the faint scent of something ancient, something powerful. His instinct told him he wasn't alone, and in a place like this, that could only mean one thing: a fight was coming. From the horizon, a golden-haired warrior approached, his muscles rippling beneath a fur-lined battle harness. The man's presence alone radiated authority and strength, but it was the massive, mystical blade in his hand that told Logan exactly what kind of trouble he was in. That sword practically sang with power. Heman, champion of Eternia, slowed his steps, studying the feral man before him. The strange metal claws extending from Logan's hands gleamed like purest silver, and there was something in the way he carried himself, low to the ground, poised like a predator that told Heman this was no ordinary warrior. A voice thundered across the sky, though neither of them could see its source. Two warriors, one battle. Only the strongest shall walk away. Logan smirked. Typical, he muttered, cracking his neck. Well, might as well get this over with. Heman frowned. I don't know who you are, but I won't fight without reason. Wolverine's lips curled into a grin. Trust me, bub, you won't have a choice. And with that, Logan charged. Wolverine lunged forward with animalistic speed, his claws slicing through the air toward Heman's chest. But the warrior's reflexes were unmatched. He twisted aside, bringing his massive sword down in a controlled arc to counter. Logan barely had time to raise his claws, and when metal met enchanted steel, the impact sent a shockwave across the battlefield. The force of the strike sent Logan skidding back, his feet tearing grooves into the ground. He flexed his fingers, feeling the vibration rattle up his bones. You hit harder than most. Heman tightened his grip on his sword. And you're faster than you look. Logan didn't waste time with more words. He rushed in again, feinting left before twisting into a savage upward. Slash aimed at Heman's unarmored torso. But Heman's reaction speed was nearly supernatural. He intercepted with his forearm, bracing against the attack. Wolverine's adamantium claws raked across Heman's skin, drawing blood but failing to cut deep. For the first time, Logan hesitated. What the hell are you made of? He growled. Heman took a step back, looking at the thin cut across his skin, already beginning to heal. His power, granted by the sorceress of Grayskull, made him nearly indestructible. But that claw, whatever metal it was made from, had actually wounded him. I could ask you the same thing, Heman replied. Your claws shouldn't have been able to scratch me. Logan grinned, shaking the tension from his fingers. Guess we're both full of surprises. Wolverine went low this time, aiming for Heman's legs, trying to disable him. But Heman countered by slamming his knee into Logan's ribs, sending him flying. The sheer force of the blow should have shattered bones. But Logan landed on his feet, snarling, his healing factor already patching him up. Heman charged, sword raised high, bringing it down with enough force to crack mountains. Logan rolled away just in time, the blade carving deep into the ground, leaving a molten scar in the terrain. Logan retaliated, slashing at Heman's side, but Heman caught his wrist in a vice grip, lifting him off the ground and throwing him like a rag doll. Logan slammed into a jagged rock formation, but before Heman could press his advantage, the mutant was already back on his feet. His eyes burned with wild fury now, his body fully embracing the fight. All right, pretty boy, Logan snarled, wiping blood from his mouth. Let's see how much punishment you can really take. Heman raised his sword, eyes narrowing. I don't wish to harm you, But I won't hold back if this battle must continue. Lightning crackled in the sky, as if the universe itself was watching in anticipation. Two warriors, unbreakable in their own ways, stood ready to clash again. One a beast of raw instinct and unyielding resilience. The other, a warrior of divine strength and unshakable honor. And neither would stop until the battle was decided. The battlefield trembled beneath their feet. The air itself crackled with the sheer force of their presence. Two warriors, one forged in blood and battle, the other sculpted by the power of ancient gods. Logan bared his claws, his breathing steady despite the punishment he had already taken. Heman stood resolute, gripping the power sword with unwavering determination. There would be no retreat, no surrender, only the fight. Wolverine was the first to move. He surged forward like a blur, claws flashing in the dim light of this twisted realm. Heman swung his sword in a horizontal arc, but Logan ducked low, rolling beneath the blade. As he came up, he lashed out, his adamantium claws raking across Heman's thigh. The cut was deeper this time. Blood spattered onto the ground. Heman grimaced but refused to falter. Instead, he countered with a devastating backhand strike, his fist colliding with Logan's jaw like a battering ram. The impact sent Logan flying. He crashed through a stone pillar, shattering it into dust. But before the debris had even settled, Logan was back on his feet. "That's all you got, bub?" He growled, spitting out a tooth that had already started regenerating. His wounds were knitting together before Heman's eyes. The Eternian warrior frowned. He had fought beasts, monsters, and warlords before, but none quite like this. Logan's body was a relentless machine of carnage, refusing to break, refusing to stop. Heman adjusted his stance, realizing that this wasn't just about power, it was about endurance, and he knew just how to end it. Wolverine attacked again, this time with raw aggression. He clawed at Heman's chest, each strike backed by centuries of combat experience. Heman blocked one, dodged another, but a third swipe slashed across his shoulder. More blood, but Heman's patience had run out. He caught Wolverine's wrist mid-strike and, with godly strength, twisted it. The sound of snapping bone filled the air as Logan's arm was momentarily broken. Before it could heal, Heman drove his knee into Logan's stomach with enough force to lift him off the ground. Logan gasped, spitting blood. But even as his ribs shattered, he retaliated, stabbing his other set of claws into Heman's side. The power of Grayskull kept the wounds from being fatal, but the pain was real. Heman gritted his teeth and did the unthinkable. He grabbed Logan by the skull and threw him into the air. Logan soared upward, his body twisting uncontrollably before gravity took hold, and he plummeted back down. Heman was ready. As Logan fell, Heman raised the power sword high, and when Logan was within striking distance, he brought it down in a single devastating blow. The blade met Logan's flesh, and for the first time in a long time, Wolverine screamed. The sword of Heman wasn't just a weapon. It was a conduit of power, a force beyond mortal understanding. It wasn't just cutting Logan, it was burning through him, severing flesh and breaking the very structure of his unbreakable bones. Logan crashed into the earth, motionless. His claws twitched, his body spasmed, but his healing factor, his greatest asset, was struggling to keep up. The power sword had left wounds that even adamantium couldn't withstand. Heman stood over him, chest rising and falling, blood dripping from his own wounds. He didn't strike again. He didn't need to. Logan grunted, trying to push himself up, but his body refused to move. His breath came in ragged gasps. He let out a weak chuckle, staring up at Heman. "Guess you win this one, bub," he muttered. Heman exhaled, planting his sword into the ground. "You fought well, warrior. Few could endure what you have." Wolverine smirked, coughing. Yeah. "Next time I'll be ready." Heman gave him a nod of respect before stepping away. The battle was over, and Heman was the victor.